Specialists. I'm here today with Laura Cheney from the data team and Josh Dean, the other customized employment specialist. We want to work with you today on how to track and record customized employment services in Workforce One. We will also introduce you to the new customized employment desk aid for your reference. The learning objectives for today are to understand customized employment services, understand how data is collected in Workforce One, and introduce you to the new customized employment desk aid.
We wanted to start off by explaining and giving a definition for what customized employment is and why we use it. As many of you know, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or otherwise known as WIOA, was signed into law on July 22nd in 2014. WIOA is designed to help job seekers access employment, education, training, and support services to succeed in employment. This was a landmark piece of legislation designed to strengthen and improve the nation's workforce. In WIOA, it specifically calls out for customized employment. It was intended to strengthen relationships between the Department of Education, Human Services, and state VR programs. It's not going away, and it may be the key for accessing community integrated employment for many. As a result of that, the Department of Labor has defined customized employment as a flexible relationship between an employer and employees that meets both the specific needs of a business and the strengths, needs, and interests of a job seeker. Customized employment is an evidence-based practice, and therefore the services follows a specific process that is defined in a customized employment training.
The data is important. Vocational Rehabilitation Services has invested time, money, and resources implementing customized employment. This was first done via a grant through WINTAC, the Workforce Innovation National Technical Assistance Center. We brought one of the national lead agencies, Mark Golden Associates, to train over 160 vocational rehabilitation services employees, community partners, and Department of Human Service employees on customized employment. Many people trained obtained certifications in discovery, job development, and systematic instruction. As the grant training project concluded, Vocational Rehabilitation, in partnership with State Services for the Blind and the Department of Human Services, developed a Minnesota customized employment model, which is a nationally approved training curriculum through ACRE, the Accreditation of Community Rehabilitation Educators. Over the course of the last 4 years, through the development of customized employment services in Minnesota, we need to track data points within our Workforce One system accurately. For example, we want to be able to track the length of time in discovery, hours it takes to complete a thorough discovery, the amount of time it takes to secure employment, number of hours worked, wages earned, and the same data that we report for individuals served in our general programs. In order to do this, we need to improve our data tracking systems in Workforce One. We need your help to accomplish this mission. Improving the way we enter data in Workforce One will allow Minnesota to tell the story of outcomes and the impacts of customized employment.
A new desk aid has been created to help staff navigate the customized employment process. The desk aid has a lot of the information that we're going to review today. First, we are going to review the 3 key phases of customized employment.
VRS defines customized employment as a 3-phase process. The first phase of customized employment begins with discovery. In this phase, we assist to identify the interests, skills, and ideal conditions of the job seeker. A practitioner will gather information through observations, interviews, and engaging with the job seeker in activities that they naturally do and enjoy. Throughout this process, we capture the job seeker's unique interests, skills, by taking photos and helping them to create a visual resume to highlight the potential contributions to an employer. At the end of phase 1 discovery, it is signified by a conclusion meeting with the job seeker and their team to share, verify, and add any new information. At this meeting, the job seeker shares their visual resume and the team assists to generate ideas for the second phase of customized employment, being job development. This conclusion meeting ends ends phase 1 discovery, and it also concludes the hourly rate of services, which is typically 40 hours. The second phase of customized employment is job development, using customized employment performance, and it uses a customized employment performance-based agreement. Hourly rates of service are not available for job development or for employment supports. In order to enter in a customized employment PBA, phase 1 discovery must have been completed. The third phase of customized employment is employment supports. This includes completing a job analysis, assisting to identify natural supports, and setting up ongoing supports as well. So we also wanted to talk about when is customized employment needed or when it may be required. Almost anyone can benefit from customized employment. However, the individuals who may need customized employment to obtain community integrated employment, this is the service. Here are some examples of who may be a good fit for customized employment. An individual who has a significant impact of disability and desires competitive integrated employment. Traditional job placements have not been effective. For a person with communication challenges, or when other methods of planning have not led to employment thus far. It could also be a good fit when there is a lack of information or employment experience. And an individual may not be another good fit for this is if an individual cannot meet the requirements of a regular job description, but we know they can do specific tasks. Also, a job seeker must be able to participate in the 8 to 10 weeks of the discovery process. So who can provide customized employment? In Minnesota, VRS has established customized employment competency review standards that every practitioner must adhere to. This competency review aligns with the essential elements of customized employment for universal application created by WinTech. As many of you know, the discovery process and customized employment have been around for many years. However, it has been varied by practitioner and organization by organization. Because of this, we did not have a consistent set of practices or foundation across Minnesota when it came to customized employment. We have created customized employment standards to effectively build the state's capacity around customized employment and to sustain quality services statewide. Moving forward, any person who wishes to provide CE services must complete a 40-hour ACRE-approved CE training and submit a discovery document for the competency review. Customized employment services can be provided by VRS employees or purchased by community partners. With that being said, all customized employment practitioners, both internal and external, need to be certified and approved to provide each of the 3 key phases of customized employment.
Counselors will add customized employment to the employment plan using the service type Customized Employment Services. The activity or service added to the employment plan would be discovery process and/or job development and placement. Generally, you will start with the discovery process unless the individual already received discovery and you have a completed discovery document before entering into a customized employment PBA. So first, we're going to talk about customized employment provided by internal VR staff. Progress of customized employment activity is tracked by staff updating the activity statuses in Workforce One. The activity statuses tell the story of where the participant is in the CE process. I'm going to navigate to Workforce One and we're going to walk through adding an activity status. Okay, so I'm in Workforce One and we're working with Brenda Walsh. And as a reminder, one of the first things that you're going to want to make sure is the case assignment. In order for the customized employment activity statuses to appear in Workforce One, there has to be a placement staff assigned to the record. So in this example, I do have a placement staff assigned to the record. So using my left navigation, I'm going to click on activity. And this is going to bring me to the activity summary page. And here you're going to see the button Add VRS Status or NPS. So I'm going to click that button. And the first thing I need to do is assign this activity status to a staff person. So for the purposes of customized employment, those are going to be assigned to the placement staff. So I'm going to select the placement staff. And then my next field that I need to populate is this a status or is this a non-purchase service, or NPS? We call these all statuses. So I'm going to select status. And then the next thing I have to do is the activity type. And you're going to see that I have two options here. The first one is CE referral. Otherwise, I have just a referral invite. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to select CE referral. So the referral for customized employment. Then I'm going to select next. And now I get to the page where I can add the activity status. And to do that, it's as easy as putting in a date. So what is the date that the person was referred to the placement specialist for customized employment? For the purposes of today, I'm going to backdate this and put in a date in the past. When you're doing this, it'll be more real time, so you'll be putting in current dates. You'll also notice that I have the ability to add a comment for the activity status. These comments are only seen through the activity status page. I also have the ability to add a case note. So if I wanted to add a case note about this referral, I could select the appropriate case note category, enter in my narrative, and click save, and that's automatically going to populate that case note to the case note section of Workforce One. So I've entered in my start date for this referral, so I'm going to click save, and you'll notice that I get this yellow bar with the little green check mark letting me know that my activity status is saved. You'll also see here that the referral shows for customized employment placement. After referral, the next most common thing that you're going to add an activity status for is for the discovery process. So I'm just going to walk through that. It's the same steps. Click this Add VRS Status or NPS. Again, I'm selecting the placement staff. It's a status. And you'll notice now I have a couple more options for describing my activity. For this example, I'm going to say it's discovery. Click next. And again, it's as simple as putting in a start date. So when did you start that discovery process? And we'll say for this example, we'll use February 10th and save. So again, this is how Workforce One is tracking the participant through this customized employment process. As we saw in Workforce One, it only displays certain activity statuses based on where the participant is in the process. So this slide can be used as a reference of what statuses there are for customized employment. Once the participant completes the discovery phase, they move on to the job development and placement phase. If the participant continues working with the VRS placement staff, a customized employment placement plan will be created in Workforce One. Now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about customized employment provided by an external source, or also known as a community partner. Before referring or adding the provider to the employment plan, VR staff must check SharePoint to confirm which vendors are approved for customized employment and which staff for each vendor is available to provide the customized employment services. So I'm going to navigate to SharePoint and I'm going to review how to find this important information. So we're out on SharePoint. On our left nav, you'll see this link for community partners. So I'm going to click here. And as I scroll down, you're going to see that there's a link that says PT Contracts Customized Employment by Partner. So I can click here. And what it does is it gives me the list of all of the providers statewide that are approved for customized employment. So you'll see there's quite a list. You also notice I have the ability to filter by region. So if I knew I work primarily in the north, the metro, or the south, I can filter those results based on the area that I serve. So you'll notice the different community partners that are listed. And then to the far right, you'll notice that there are staff listed for each community partner. Those are the staff for those community partners that are approved to provide customized employment. So this list is kept up to date. The providers are informing us when new practitioners have been approved, and then when they leave that community partner. So just a reminder that only the approved CE practitioners can provide customized employment services. If their name does not appear on that website on SharePoint, they cannot provide customized employment. When the community partner practitioners are providing customized employment, VRS staff will complete a referral form in Workforce One. After going through discovery, some participants may continue working with the provider on job development. The invitation to placement is completed in Workforce One, and customized employment is selected from the drop-down menu.
Next, we need to talk about authorization in the process with customized employment services. As you create authorizations for discovery, start with 20 hours. The only time you might not is if we are at the conclusion of a fiscal year or reporting period. For example, if it is September 10th and you are starting the discovery, perhaps you may only authorize 10 hours and the additional hours will be provided after the new fiscal year. 20 hours is a good starting place. I do know some offices are starting off with 40, as that is the average amount of time it takes to complete the full discovery process. We have created a customized employment service guide to discovery, which will assist counselors, RAMs, and other VR employees through each step of the process. A vendor may ask for additional hours beyond 40 for a specific reason. For example, during theme testing, perhaps new information is learned and it may be necessary to go back in the process and verify information or change or add to a theme. The process should be fluid and allow for this type of flexibility. If a vendor is requesting additional hours, it is certainly all right to consult with a customized employment practitioner and talk through why the additional hours might be necessary. We expect the discovery process to span approximately 8 to 10 weeks with an experienced practitioner. It is currently taking a bit longer due to the pandemic, as well as limited access to community options for those observations and theme testing. Next, we will talk about CE, or Customized Employment Documentation. During the discovery process, the practitioner shall gather, translate, and document information learned through time spent with the job seeker. This documentation shall be person-centered, positive in nature, describing the strengths, skills, and conditions of that job seeker. The discovery document may be a Minnesota Customized Employment Plan, a Discovering Personal Genius staging record, or a Mark Golden Associates profile. The format shall contain and review information as described in the essential elements of customized employment for universal application. There are providers who have created their own documents, but they do contain all the information covered in the essential elements of customized employment.
Another document that is very common that you may see is the job development document. As a job seeker begins to meet with employers, we encourage practitioners to use the job development document to record the experience from informational interviews, working interviews, job tours, and on-the-job tryouts. Information that is typically captured is which employer is the job seeker meeting with, the employer's contact information, a summary of the interaction, follow-up steps, and pros and cons of each business. This is on the screen. You'll see a sample of a job development document used by practitioners to summarize the experience and outline potential next steps for employment.
It is best practice to document detailed information as it is gathered in the discovery document, which in many cases will be that Minnesota Customized Employment Plan. Best practice is to enter information as it occurs, often during discovery. In Workforce One, there should just be a short note. For example, if you completed an observation of a life activity, a case note might read something like, completed observation of lawn mowing activity. Refer to the Minnesota CE plan for details. Workforce One is not the place to document all your discovery activities in detail due to ease in finding information, passing along information to the team. It is best practice to maintain the details of the process in the Minnesota Customized Employment Plan or Discovery document. This plan then becomes the document others can review, add to, and pass along to providers and other team members as needed. Dual documentation is not necessary, writing out all the details in both case notes and the discovery document. As a counselor, you should receive periodic updates regarding the discovery process through that 8 to 10 week period. This may come in the form of communication updates bi-monthly as you receive in job placement, or a copy of that discovery document through the process. At a minimum, you should receive a monthly progress update from the practitioner. Updates can then be uploaded into Workforce One. This is where the Customized Employment Guide or Customized Employment Roadmap will also come in handy as a reference point to follow along the process. It is important to note you are paying for this service and you should receive monthly updates.
A reminder that there is a case note category in Workforce One called Job Placement Customized Employment Internal Staff. This case note category should be selected when VR staff are case noting about customized employment activities they provided, such as discovery, a visual resume, job analysis, job development, job coaching, or customized employment planning meetings. If the case note is about customized employment activities provided by an external provider, use the case note category Job Placement Customized Employment External Staff. In February of 2021, we were provided a new consent form, approval to photograph, video, or audio record for job placement or customized employment. This consent form addresses taking photos, videos, and audio recordings for individuals we may work with. It is important to obtain additional consents as you work through the customized employment process, such as anyone interviewed during the discovery process or potential employers.
So we also wanted to talk about what is not customized employment. As we've done a little bit more research, as we've done taken a deeper dive into Workforce One for some reviews, we've noticed many items that were being documented as customized employment but weren't actually customized employment. If you see any of the following or have any questions, please reach out to your supervisor, Margie, or myself. Our current funding is set at $75 per hour for customized employment discovery services. In this rate, does factor in non-billable services such as writing as well. So what is not CE? A few of the examples may be if the final recommendation is that the person is not employable or is not ready to work, or if a discovery document has been filled out but it has blank spaces or a lot of NAs not applicable. Also, if there have been many steps of the discovery phase have been skipped, that is a sign that customized employment is not being done. If the discovery process exceeds 12 weeks with no content or explanation, and or if the process is stalled or stagnated for an extended period of time.
We want to let you know that there are many resources about customized employment available to you on SharePoint. This is where you will find the new Customized Employment Desk Aid, the guide that Margie referred to earlier, and many other resources. I'm going to navigate to SharePoint now and show you where these things are located. So I'm back out to SharePoint. You're going to notice again on that left navigation, counseling placement resources. When I click this link, there is a link now for customized employment. And this is where you're going to find the resources that we've referred to today. The Customized Employment Service Guide. And then down at the bottom under forms is the Customized Employment Desk Aid. And you'll also notice there are a bunch of other helpful resources here for you as you navigate customized employment.
Josh, Laura, and I want to thank you for joining us today. Please reach out to us if you have questions regarding the information presented today.